So you drag this down into this. Then you want to be sure that this thing here is for you to move or drag this editor. This editor, you can drag it manually. Okay. So if it is too far away, you can just use this one here. It's going to move it to the very beginning. Can you see? Move it to the beginning. So it's easy to move it that way. So you go, then you go to the videos part and you drag in the next video. I've just edited this video, so you might just select it, just click on it to select it, then press delete to get rid of it so that we won't mix it up. So that someone else will not come and then begin to edit something that we have already edited. So you're going to drag this down into this track. To drag it down like that. You must ensure it closes up this gap. Do you understand that? Yes, sir. So you can then play it together. So the experience of if you didn't close it up, by the time you get here, by the time you play this video is playing along that line. What you want. So you want to can you see that? So you want to ensure they are closed up. And then any part where I didn't speak, okay, before it's usually not like immediately I press recording that I start speaking. So the part that I didn't speak, you want to get rid of it. So before I started speaking, so just move this around. You can see these waves here representing the voice. So before the waves start, you can see that here. Once you click on this thing, always click on it from the big part here. Once you click on that without removing or releasing your finger, you can drag it around. Once you do that, you'll be able to clearly see the waves here. Can you see that if you have this release, if it is somewhere else, the wave is not clear now. And so for you to be very sure, just drag this thing there. You'll be able to see where the wave starts. So I can say that this starts from here. So then I want to remove everything to the left. You use this green and red to cover to the right or to the left. Do you understand? If I want to cover to the left, I'll use the green. If I want to cover to the right, I use the red. So I just have to drag them. So I click on the green because I want to cover to the left and I drag it to the left. So once you get to the end of that video, this thing will automatically restrict you. But if you because you don't want to cut this part at all, so it will restrict you at first. If you now press further, that's when it goes further. But normally you don't want to go further, so that's why it's by default restricts you from going further. So with this, I can get rid of this part. I'll press delete since I've selected that part. Then I have to close up the gap. So I just click on this. I'm not dragging it all. You have to select it because you always have to move the two of them together along exactly the same line. It must be exactly at the same position. Otherwise, you'll be having the screen. You can see the okay, we'll see it shortly. So when you select this, you hold the control key, click on this one also. So you have the two of them selected now. Then you can move this closer. So you close the gap there. Once you do that, you can go back and play. So, so the thing is that you can see this top part. When you click on it now, when we select it, you can see here it is the screen recording of my face that is highlighted. You can see it is highlighted here. If you click on the lower one, it is the screen that we are writing that is highlighted. So there are two parts here. So if you don't move them together, you are spoiling the video. If you move only one of them, let's say I move only this one now, I have moved it past this one. If I play the video, you will just see the video exactly. I can stop this at any point. If I'm playing, I can just drag this and it will stop, or you just click on pause here. Okay. So now I know I have to drag them together. They must be exactly at the same position. So I can move this back. When I move it back, this dragging will automatically stop, restrict me when it is aligned. So it allows me that they are now aligned. So if you now want to move it further, it will also let you do that. So it restricts me and I know I already have the two of them aligned. Then click hold Control and select the lower one, then drag them together. So that way I'm certain that that is the first thing to do. You want to remove anywhere I didn't speak before I started speaking, before I did welcome back. Sometimes it might be that I was clearing my throat before I started. You want to clear that part also. So you get to the point where I started doing the actual video, welcome back and all of that. Sometimes it may be that I'm just distracted. So you want to clear that off as well. So once you have done this, you are only allowed to do this clearing off at the beginning before you now work on this one here, that is this face. You want to make it closer so that the student can see my face more closely. This is too far away, and then this captures the whole environment, all of this side. You can see the door is even showing slightly here, which is not something you want to show students. So we have to crop this. In order to crop this, there are two things you should watch out for first and foremost. Now, one of them will already be sorted before you start working on this, and that's one that will be sorted, most likely already sorted, is that I will have done the project settings already. So, but if the project settings is not done, it's not a problem. You want to confirm for yourself anyway that the project setting is proper. So how do you do that? You click on this here. Okay, this you see 31% or this edit and all of that at this top here. You click on it and you see the options, project settings. You click on project settings. So here you come and select 1920 by 1080. Ensure it is already there. In case it's not there, now this is highly unlikely, but in case it's not there, you select 1920 by 1080, and that's the only thing you need to do. Leave every other thing as they are. Click on apply. When you do that, it may change the size of what you see on this screen. It may become bigger than usual, it may become smaller than usual, but whatever it is, you just come and right click on the video and then select scale to fit. Scale to fit means that it will now adjust itself to that 1920 by 1080 size. So by that, you already know everything is perfectly okay. So that is when you can now start working on it. Now, it may happen sometimes that you have zoomed this in. If you use the scroller on the mouse, for instance, on this page, it's going to zoom this out. When you turn the scroller back, it's going to zoom this in. I'm using this ruler on the mouse. So, but you don't want to do that because you want to see the actual size. So you want to take over the entire width. I want to have everything in view at this section. So to do that, you can always click on this menu at the top again. You click on fit. So when you select fit, it will fit it to whatever space is available here. Do you understand? So that's it. The idea. These ones remain as they are. So with that out of the way, I want to crop this. So I select it. Once I click on it, it is selected. It is also confirmed here that that's the only one that is selected. You must ensure it is the only one that is selected. If you select this together with this, it's going to disrupt the whole thing because that means you'll be exactly you'll be expanding both of them. If you expand, you'll be reducing the size for both of them. If you reduce the size, do you understand? So for this selected, then I'll move the mouse, I'll move the cursor until I get to this edge. Once you get there, it will change the symbol. You can see the symbol changes from this cross that it is to this. Once it is there, then it is ready to drag. You click on it, don't release your hand yet. You keep dragging until it covers the entire screen. Good. Once it is done, then you come up here. The arrow part is where the edit is showing. Okay, this is not showing on the recording now because it's cut out of recording, but it's not a problem. Once you just go to the top, you can see where my cursor is like. Just go to the top, you see the menu I'm talking about. So this edit is here. Once it is on edit, it was on edit for us to drag it to this edge, but you need it to be on crop. So you go and click on crop. It will highlight that crop symbol. Once you have that, then you know we are ready to crop the this image here. So what are you going to do? You come and crop the height first. So while you are doing that, you have to be monitoring the height and width reading here. You can scroll this up and down. You see the height and width reading. There is this symbol here with properties. If you click on it, it closes that property. So if you have the property to be closed by any means, you can click on that symbol again. It will bring them back. So you'll be monitoring the width. So the width here, this is also not shown in this recording. I'm recording this video. So this is not shown in the recording because the screen size that I use doesn't cover that. But it's not a problem. You see the width reading just along this line. You see the height reading just below it. So you're going to start from the top and close it down. While you're closing it down, be watching the height. The height should not go below 890. So you want to be very, very close to 890. It can be slightly below anyways, okay? So, sorry, did I say 890? 690. So this is 679. Okay, this 689.4. That is good enough. If you can get 690 exactly, fine. If you can't, 689.4 or whatever close value around something that is within maybe 0 point something less, or worst case 1 point something less than 690 is perfectly fine. So once you have done that, you are good. You don't drag from the bottom at all because that is perfectly okay. You drag then from the left side. You want to ensure that this image, the seat and everything is right in the middle. So you drag this closely. You are watching the width too, but before you start watching, you want to ensure that this thing is in the middle first. So once you have it, then look at the width. The width for us here is still 858.2. We want it to be around 840. 840. So it's already 858. So I'll be dragging it little by little on both sides until I get. So I want to drag it on this side. This is 822. It is too much. I'll keep gently increasing it until I have, okay, 838.8. That looks good. Can I get something closer to 840? I'll try my luck. This is 842, so that is too much. I'll bring it back. Okay, it seems the closest I can get is 838.8. That is 1.2 difference, so that is still good. So once that is done, then we are done with the cropping. The next thing to do is to go back here, click on edit again. That will go back to the editing mode. Cropping mode, we leave cropping mode and go back to editing mode. It will be highlighted here, edit will be highlighted. Then with that, we'll come and drag this image that we have just cropped, this part that we have just cropped, we'll drag it to the left bottom end. It has to be that the edge is aligned with this edge. This is also aligned with the bottom of the video. So for you to ensure this is perfect, you must have clicked fit here. If you didn't click fit, it may be that the video has been zoomed in and you are not locating the end correctly. But once you have clicked on fit, it puts everything, every part of the video in view. So you're able to clearly see that this is the right end of the video, this is the bottom end of the video. So you drag this thing till it is exactly aligned with that. Do you understand? So the next thing is to now reduce the size. It is too big like this. We reduce the size to half. So what we're going to do now, we're not clicking crop, we're not cropping again, we just want to reduce the size. So we're going to click on the, we're going to bring our cursor until it changes symbol here. Then we're going to drag this down until everything reduces to height, to half. That means the width that was previously 840 or around 840 should now be around 420. The height that was previously 690 should be around 345. So keep dragging this down. So 420, if you're able to get 420 or something. This 422 is too high. Try to reduce this 419.5. That looks good. It's close enough to 420. So I'm going to stop there. So with that, I'm done with this portion of the editing. I'll then come back here and start so I can play it and see that perfect. Once that is sorted, then we start watching out, we start looking closely at this portion of the video. Please, yeah, just ensure that you don't press here what you are not meant to press. Just follow this strictly. The problems you can come across when doing this part is if you get into I too know mode and then you start pressing where you are not meant to press. Please don't do that. So just follow everything I've said here carefully. All through so far, we did not use anything beyond the mouse, right clicking, left clicking, click and hold to drag, and using the delete button when we selected that portion. And then using the mouse to do for go from edit to crop. Yeah, there is no other thing there. Don't go and be pressing menu that you are not sent. Don't go and be looking for what is not lost anywhere. Just focus on what we are doing here and stick with it all through. If you go and click on what you don't do, you will be setting up problems for yourself, and it means you are wasting your productive time. Because at the end of the day, if you have, let's say, 7 videos, 9 videos, 10 videos on ground, at the end of the day, you're able to edit only one. You're even calling me before you can even edit that one, or you might even not be able to edit that one correctly, and I have to come back and remove the video. It means you didn't do anything for that day, and there is no money coming in. It's a different case from you came and there's no work on ground. There's work on ground here, the one that didn't do it correctly, and I had to delete what you did and do it again. Meaning there is nothing, there is no income coming in for you for that. So you have to uh, ensure you concentrate fully. Don't do what you are not meant to do. Don't press what you are not meant to press. So you just be moving these around and be watching the audios. If there's any pattern, any strange pattern, you are not sure what is strange or not, yeah, it's it's okay, that looks good. Then we can keep scrolling on. So it doesn't look like there's anything abnormal here. It seems I'm silent here, but that is just low. Maybe the voice is just okay. I'll just continue like that. So to scroll to bring the other part into view, I use this bottom stuff here. I'm dragging it around. So this thing will remain reasonably big like this for a short video. This video is short, it's just 11:35. You can see some videos that are 30 minutes, 40 minutes, sometimes even an hour long. So the thing is that if this thing is too tiny for you, that is if this voice thing here is too tiny, now just use this normal size. This intro video, this the new intro video should be your guide. So the intro video should be around this size. But if it is not around that size, or the whole thing is too tiny for you to visualize here or to trace, you can zoom in and out on these tracks. You can position anywhere and click on plus. It will zoom the timeline, so it will be zooming this. When you click on plus, it will zoom this, it becomes bigger. So this thing becomes tinier. So now you have all of this there. Yeah, you can see it more clearly. So, but you don't want to do that. I think it's just good to use that small size. You can always return back by pressing this. And you can always also move this in case you want to make it bigger or smaller. You can do that at that point like that. And if it happens that you have pressed something that you are not meant to press, maybe you are not concentrating, you have pressed what you are not meant to press, and you are not sure what has happened to the video, just do Control and Z. Control and Z will, you press Control, hold Control and press Z. It will undo whatever you have done up to that point. So you can go back to where you can relate with what you are doing again. And if that means that you can't really look at that, it means you have wasted your time. So please, concentration, 100% concentration is required to do this work effectively. You have to concentrate. So keep tracing out any abnormal parts. So there's a silence here. Also monitor what's going on the screen. Here it seems I'm distracted by something, so you want to check that. So so just ensure you are cutting from the part where my head is still looking at the my head is still forward looking at the screen. So you don't want to show a hair. So you just want to show something very closely like that. Okay, close enough. Then I'll bring this here. Just to the end of that. Let's cover it to be sure that we are not cutting out any audio. Complete. See that I've not cut out, it has not selected any audio. When you highlight a section or you play it, it will play whatever is in that section only. So we are good to go this way. I'm going to press delete, remove that section. Then I select this by clicking on it, hold control, click on the other one, select it, then I drag. To drag, you just click anywhere on either of them. Or you just click at the middle. Please don't go and click at the edge. If you go and click at the edge, it may actually expand either of them. That's not what you want to do. This is what I mean. If this thing is still here, if you want to drag them together, place your cursor inside either of them. Don't place it at the edge. If you place it at the edge, can you see this symbol has changed? If you go and use this, it will be expanding the video. That means to be slowing it down and extending the time. to be extended over the timeline. You don't want to do that. There's something like that here. It is not required for anything at any point of this work. So you don't want to do anything like that. Just click somewhere in the middle of either of them. Once you have selected both of them, click, hold the button down like that. Don't leave and just drag the mouse until it closes that gap. So then you play it to ensure that it's good, at least manageable. So we can then move on like that and go to the next one. Then we get rid of it. These gaps are quite close, so I can just get rid of all of them first and then come back to play it to see that everything looks perfect. So I'll delete that, close up the gap, then come here, delete this, close up the gap. So come here again, delete this, and close up the gap. Come here, drag it closely, then delete this, delete, close up the gap, delete, they are closed. So, I'm not sure what happened there. So let me Control Z, it is done, and then I go this, clear that, delete, close up the gap. Okay, looks good. So let us play everything together. Okay, so this looks good, and this looks good. This looks good. You can get rid of this. Let's check. Okay, so let's get rid of that and close the gap. Check. Okay, that looks good. So then come here, we keep going. Everything looks good and perfect. Then we come here and check that gap. I reduce that a little to ensure we're not covering any voice. Check it. Okay, looks good. Then delete that, close the gap, come here, play it and see. That's good. This is this. Then we come here. We come here and check this out and then close this gap. Remove that. Play the video to see. So we go like that, and that looks good to me. And because this video is short, so once you get to talk, so you want to be sure that this is the end of the video. At me telling this is the end of the lesson or this is the end of the whatever. Because sometimes I might be recording and because of one issue or the other, I stopped the recording. Last time something like that happened, I was recording, the power went off, light went off, so I had to stop the recording. And when it came back on, I had to continue where I stopped. That means you see that the next video is a continuation. So if you see that this is not the end, then you can't stop here. It means you will have to check the next video. To check a video, you double click on the video, the raw video here. It will lay over this and play on it. It's not coming up here because I'm using the recording, I guess. But when you double click on it to come up, then it will play. So you use it to check that it's the continuation of the previous video. Okay, so once you have that, then you want to drag it and bring it here and edit it. That means in that case, you'll have to edit the face differently. Then you cut so that it flows together with the first one. So in this case, we have come to the end of the video, so we can just get rid of this thing here. Okay, where is this? Thank you for watching is the end. So I'm going to just I'm going to cut this off, cut that part off and delete. So we're good. Okay, we're good now. So go to library, bring the intro, max intro, we'll place it at the end. And that works perfectly. So top right, you see export button, click on it, select local file. It's already opened the folder. The folder name always corresponds to the course title. This is the course Equilibrium of Rigid Bodies. So the folder name is Equilibrium of Rigid Bodies. You see, it's under desktop, e-classroom, videos, and Equilibrium of Rigid Bodies. If it's some other course title, I will have written that out for you. You just go to desktop, e-classroom, videos, locate the course title. Maybe you are doing something on, let's say, infinite sequences and series. That's what you click on to ensure you are saving the video inside the folder. You get now. But this one is Equilibrium of Rigid Bodies. I select the folder. That's where it is. This will almost always be selected properly already. So what you have to deal with is the file name, and you just ensure that the file name corresponds to the lesson title. How do you get the lesson title? Just keep scrolling. You know this one already has a video. You go to next, you click on next here. This one already has a video, click on next. This one doesn't have a video. 5.1 constraint. To be sure whether it is the video for this lesson or not, you check the notes. The notes here has to do with complete constraints. What we have just done is you can check, just get rid of this, scroll back, you see what we're talking about. Okay, if you're not sure, you can scroll to the beginning. So at the beginning, you see that this is what we have here. It's about partial constraints. So with that, you know this is not the lesson for it. So you continue to scroll. You can scroll back or forward. So this is partial constraints. You check the notes to verify. Yeah, this is exactly the notes that was written in the video. That means it is for this lesson. So you scroll up, up, up. You see the title of the lesson, 5.2 constraints. You copy the title of the lesson like that, and you bring that here. So when you click on exports and local file, the file name will be the title of the video. You control V, and then you click on export. So it starts to export the video. It starts to render the video and all of that. Okay. So that is that about that. When that is done, then I mean, while that is going on, you do other things like writing the highlights for the lesson. So I hope this thing actually recorded. Okay, since it's recorded, so let me wait before exporting this. Let me stop.